everybody, welcome to Gardening with the Landscape Connection. My name's Michelle and I will be your host as we journey through a lot of really different fun things here at my garden center. We are in Northern Illinois, Zone 5, and I decided that I wanted to do this because I'm like the biggest plant geek that I know, and I am always teaching and sharing and educating people about what we do here at the garden center. And so we decided to do our YouTube station so that we can reach a broader audience and we can also teach to a lot of people at the same time. So with that, if you love our videos or this is your first time here, please subscribe, like, share, and make comments below because we would love to hear from you. So today what we're gonna do is I'm gonna make some lettuce bowls and I'm gonna plant some radishes because I am super jonesing for some green. Also, I plan on feeding my staff on Valentine's Day. So if I didn't mention this before, part of the garden center downstairs, we do have a fresh floral store as well. It's called Stems Floral and More. So we make a lot of fresh flowers, and that is a lot of great designers down there. And Valentine's Day is, in our life, the second busiest fresh flower holiday out there. Mother's Day is probably number 1 for us. Valentine's Day is number 2. And it's going to be crazy busy. So I like to feed my staff on those days. So I always usually make like a big pot of something, chili, taco soup, something like that. This year I'll probably still make a big pot of something for them to eat, but then I'm also going to make lettuce bowls. So I'm going to grow 6 pots of lettuce so that we can cut these and serve a salad that day as well. We're also going to grow some radishes so that we can put those on the salad as well. And I'm doing 6 because I think this will give me enough lettuce that I can feed everybody. And what's really awesome is once I cut this, I can cut this and then I can let it grow and cut it again. And I'll probably get 3 or 4 cuttings out of it before it finally is done. And so we'll be eating lettuce all winter long. And I actually got a seed packet that the harvest date is really super early. So I am actually gonna do a mesclun, and let me put my eyeballs on so I can tell you kind of what the mix is in this. So this mesclun, I can speak, it's a sweet salad mix, and it's gonna have 20% of the beet bull's blood. So that is actually a beet, and we're actually gonna grow it for the foliage on top. It's got like this burgundy red foliage, and it's really super flavorful. It's gonna have the Bloomsdale long-standing spinach. That's kind of a spinach that I grow every year out in my gardens. So 20% of it is that. 20% will be the black-seeded Simpson, which is that green, loose lettuce that you grow and then you cut it. Then there'll be 20% of the red salad bowl. So it's the same kind of lettuce. It's a loose lettuce, but it's red. And then we'll have 20% of the mustard greens that are the tender green. So this says it's got a 30 days to harvest germination. And so I got 6 packets so that I can put 1 full packet in each one of these bowls. And that way I'll have a nice thick harvest. The other thing I'm gonna do is I am gonna sprinkle some arugula in with it as well, so that with that sweet lettuce, we've got some of that peppery lettuce in there as well. And so this has a 35-day to harvest. So this one is 30, this one's 35. Split the difference. I could probably harvest it in 33, and we're 33 days away from Valentine's Day from the time that I'm actually making this video. The other thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant a royal purple radish because I thought it would be fun to plant this purple one, but also because the harvest date on this radish is 33 days. So that one we're gonna put in this one over here. Now what I did do was I am actually just using, I just went out to the greenhouse and I found hanging basket containers. They already had holes in them for drainage, and this is what I'm gonna use because I found my inserts that we use to make mixed gardens with fit over the top of this perfectly to create a nice little dome. So that's the main reason that I decided to use this, because I was able to find 2 pieces that I made work together. And a lot of times that's what we do. We'll find things that we can make work instead of spending a whole bunch of money on something that we don't need. And so just because this is a fun project and I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money on containers or plastic bowls, and these are just those cheap plastic liners. And so see, that's going to fit right over the top to create that condensation layer and that warmth in here that we need while we're waiting for them to germinate. They're going to take 10 to 14 days to germinate. So we're going to use those. The other thing that I did was I took this Fertilome, the seed starter Fertilome, and I pre-moistened all of this dirt because seed starter it's not soil, it's soilless, but it takes a lot of water to get that pre-moistened. And that's one of the things that you don't want to have happen with your seeds, is you don't want them to dry out. So these are a little deeper. I wanted to make sure that it can take the water. And then because I don't want it to drain all over the place, I again took the little plastic trays, these little 8-inch plastic trays, and I just put them on the bottom here so that it doesn't leak all over. I'm not gonna do these under grow lights. I'm upstairs in the loft area. We have a window here that's western exposure, and the light from this window is fabulous. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna push the table up by the window, and we're just gonna let them grow there. Once they germinate, I'll take a little table fan and I'll put that on low and let that oscillate back and forth to give them movement so that we don't have issues with them as they're growing up. So the other thing that I have with me here is I have my little water bottle with water in it, and when we're done, we will spray the tops of these after the seeds are in there to get them nice and settled. And then we are going to be topping every single one of them with vermiculite. I like to put this on the top of any seed starting project that I'm doing because it really helps stop algae growth and helps regulate that moisture on the top of the soil. So without further ado, we are actually gonna go ahead and get started. So as you can see here, and I brought a paper plate, maybe not this one because I got it wet. Let me grab this one. I just wanted to show you the seeds. Okay, because there's all different size seeds in here. And so as you can see here, this is the seed mix that we're gonna do. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take this and I'm gonna dump it in my hand, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it around on the top of each of my bowls. Okay, so there's one, and I probably should bring it over here so you can see a little bit better. Okay, and I like to pour it into my hand and sprinkle it from there. Yep, and I'm putting the whole bag in here and I'm just sprinkling it around. Okay, and I'm gonna do every single one of these. And when I'm done, I'm gonna have 6 different ones. And because I don't have any other seeds going up here, I don't really need to label these, but if I had a lot of stuff going, I would definitely put labels on everything that I'm doing. All right, so let's move this one here, and then we'll do the next 3. How exciting. This will be so fun if this actually works. I think it will though. I think there's plenty of light up here. And I think my timing is good. And it's not like out of sight, out of mind, because I come up these steps every single day, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. Okay, so this will be really fun. And then we'll use some tomatoes and lettuce, or not lettuce, tomatoes and cucumbers and other things as well. All right. So lettuce is one of the easier things to grow. This is a fun project that you could do with your grandkids as well because it grows really super fast. And if you have grandkids like me, my grandkids actually like to eat salad. So one of the things that I'll do, because I get to have all 3 of one of my daughter's grandkids like the last week in January, and they'll come over and we'll end up doing something really fun together. They like to cook with me. They like to make bird stuff outside with me. So it's always fun to do something like this. And probably what we'll do is we'll grow some lettuce with them as well, and then send it home with them and they can watch it grow. So that'll be a lot of fun too. Okay, now the other one I have is I do have this arugula here that I'm going to add. And so what I'm gonna do with I only have 1 packet and the seeds are super duper tiny. Look at how small those seeds are. Can you see that? Those are super tiny. So I'm just gonna actually kind of just sprinkle some of it in all of them. And I'm just gonna sprinkle it around until I get it in all of them. All right, that was everything. Okay, now I'm gonna throw all these little seed packets away. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take some of the seed starter soil, and I'm gonna get myself a little cup here, and I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of this on top. Now this is dry. I just want to kind of just cover the surface just a little bit. So I'm not putting a lot on here. I'm just kind of covering the seeds a little bit. And right now I haven't even used a full coffee cup. In fact, there you go. That's all I used was 1 little coffee cup. This is a little 6-ounce coffee cup. That's all I use. Okay. And then I'm going to take my squirt bottle and I'm going to water the tops of these so that I can kind of settle my seeds in. I just think this is the easiest way to do it with a squirt bottle. They have some misters out there too you can use, but I don't have one. I have a squirt bottle. So that's what I'm going to use. I like these 360 ones because they spray even if you turn it upside down. All right, so we're going to get these all sprayed down. I'm excited. I can't wait to see these grow. And then I can say, hey guys, I grew this for lunch. And we'll be able to watch it grow too. Okay, here we go. All right, so that's all done. And now I'm going to take my domes and I'm just going to dome them and put these little domes on here. And we'll come up and spray these with the mister a couple times a day. We'll take the domes off and we want to keep those seeds moist so that they germinate. So I'll come up here probably first thing in the morning and then I'll probably, you know, check them around 1 or noon, and then I'll probably do it again before I go home. So I'll probably be up here misting them 3 times a day until they germinate. Then once they germinate, I will take the little dome lids off and then we will start the fan on them and then keep them, you know, moderately moist. All right, so the next one we're gonna do is we're gonna plant our radishes. Now I don't have a drain tray to go underneath this one, so I have these big, they're like restaurant cookie sheets, and I've had this one forever. I have like 3 of them, and I can't even remember where I got them. I think I got them at a garage sale actually. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna plant our radishes. Now the radishes are gonna germinate or go to harvest in 33 days, and it says here that they are going to germinate in 4 to 6 days, so really super fast. All right, sow in well-worked soil after danger of frost. Well, we're not doing that. It says to sow thinly in rows about 6 inches apart. All right, and so as you can see, radishes are a little bit bigger, so you can kind of see what they are in here. Now, if you want with radishes, I think it really is easy to separate them 6 inches apart. I'm going to plant these a little closer together. Now, one of the things you want to remember with radishes is I could just scatter these in here and then thin them out, and that's something you can do. But also what you can do is you can put them in here and, you know, think about how big around a radish is going to get. So if you want the radish to get, you know, this big around, then I always like sow them 2 fingers in between. And that's about 4 inches. I know it says 6, but I'm going to plant them a little closer together. So I am going to, because I'm going to harvest these fairly young, I'm going to put 2, well, actually, you know what? I think maybe I will. No, we're going to put 2 in each hole. That way, because I did get these seeds on sale, so I don't know if the germination rate will be great. I haven't gotten my seed order in yet. And I know these were on sale because they were last year's seeds. So seeds last a long time, regardless of what the expiration date says. I mean, I've had seeds that will still germinate 2 and 3 years later. But the older the seed is, usually the germination rate goes down. So you want to keep that in mind. You can do a germination test with a paper towel. Get a paper towel wet, put your seeds in there, and then fold the paper towel in half, and then set it on like a kitchen counter and then see what germinates in there. Okay, so I only ended up using maybe 1/4 of this packet, and that's okay because I will plant these probably out in the garden too. So I'm just gonna close these up so I can hold on to these, and I'm just gonna put them over here. All right, and then the other thing I'm gonna do again, I'm gonna get a little bit of this Fertilome seed starting soil, and I'm just gonna run it across the top here. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the vermiculite on this, now that I think about it. Duh. As I told you to do that, and then I didn't do it. Okay, so I am going to get that on there. Okay, and again, I am going to get this wet and settle these down in there. And I did, you know, they say 1/4 inch deep, so I did poke a little hole and drop them in the little holes there. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this vermiculite and I'm just going to spread this across the top. This is going to help with my moisture control, and it really does help with no algae building up in your pot. Okay, let me get some more. It goes a long ways. All right, I've never seen it this fine before. So this is the first time I bought this particular brand. Normally it's bigger and it looks kind of like perlite, except it's got kind of a brown to it. Perlite I like to use to create aeration in soil for drainage, and vermiculite I like to use to help with dampening off the tops of my seeds when I start them. So let's just take a look at this. Fine grade, horticultural. It's just a fine grade. It was the only kind they had. I went to 2 stores looking for it because I'm out and I didn't have any. All I had was perlite. I thought I had some and I didn't. All right, so let's just clean these all off. All right, there we go. And this one I'm just gonna cover with saran wrap because I don't have anything big enough to put over the top of it. All right, now I'm gonna put my domes on, and I hope this perlite works as well as the one that I normally use. So we're gonna find out. And then you can find out with me whether or not it works, because boy, that fine stuff is gonna go a long ways. I mean, this bag is gonna go a long ways because I have more seeds that I'll start as well. In January though, it's just really hard to find seeds to start. Now our next video, we are going to actually do some more seed starting. We're gonna be doing some flowers, but we're gonna be doing cold sowing, and we're gonna be doing them in like milk jugs and pot containers, and we'll take those outside. So we're gonna let these grow. I'll be watering them and misting them, 2 and 3 times a day until they germinate. Then I'll take the lids off and I will let the air circulate over the top of them, and then our radishes will come up, and then I'll show you the salad that I make when it comes up for Valentine's Day. I think that's gonna be really cool. So if you wanna come and look at them at the store, they'll be growing upstairs at the top of the stairs in the south window. Otherwise, I hope this was informative. I hope this will be something that maybe you wanna go out and try. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun to grow this and then eat it. How cool is that? Plus, I'm just a geek. I can't help it. I have to do stuff like this just to entertain myself. Okay, well, I'm Michelle with the Landscape Connection. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna run around and turn the camera off now. You guys have a great day. Bye now. See, bye.